guys, and welcome back to the Hall 4.1 at the MusikMesse 2018, where the Pro Audio gear is being shown. Today we are at the booth with Maag Audio Cliff Sr., and we are showing some of the new products he's presenting and some of the legacy products as well. Hi Maag, how are you doing, man?
Great
to good to see you as well, man.
Thank you for taking the time.
Man, it's a pleasure, it's a pleasure. So, I mean, I'm a huge fan of Dave Pensado, and he's using your units so much, even on the main stereo program, you know, it's like, wow, what a beauty. Yeah. And now, I mean, I was always seeing his 500 series box and those blue boxes in there, like one next to the other. Yeah. And now I realized that you guys came up with a mastering version of those EQ4 units.
Yeah.
What's the main difference? And that's the one we're displaying right now.
Yeah, the main difference, first off, because you're laying it out again, it's going to have a little different characteristics automatically because every circuit's just a little different, just where it is positioned.
Plus how you place the components themselves.
And it happened to be a great layout.
All right.
But the main thing that is different is we have an attenuator, an input attenuator.
Makes a lot of sense.
So now if I'm coming out of Pro Tools, or any your DAW, a dB and a half or 2 dB too hot, boom, in half dB steps, you've got it right exactly where you need to be to hit the EQ.
It's stepped, so you can recall it quite easily.
Easily. Every one of them are stepped.
That's glorious.
The other thing that we do different on this from the EQ4 is we spend a lot of time zeroing out the potentiometer so that we have them matched. So if this potentiometer and that potentiometer, the value of them when they're set at zero are the same. So that if I take both of these and I turn, they're gonna follow each other. They're gonna track each other. They're more accurate to each other. Right. Same thing with every single bandpass in it. And so that's the other thing. And then the rest is just all the same, except it's 18 volt rails. So the headroom is like, I think it's minus is plus, I'm not sure, 20, I'm not sure.
Over 24.
Yeah, 28, 27.
Right. So basically,
it's up there.
Yeah. I mean, of course, one of the trades of the 500 series, which is so nice because it's so mobile.
Nice. It's awesome.
You can take it with you.
It's awesome.
I love it. I love it. And the ability to, you know, in a small format to have a nave, whatever, every sort of palette I want. It's all there. But of course, when I run my program materials through units, through outboard, I want to be able to have extra headroom.
That's right.
And that's where the 500 series is a bit of lacking. And you guys are just fitting that hole in the market right there.
18 volts, boy, and that just opens it up. And the noise floor is down to, you know, minus 90 area, you know, 89.3 or something like that.
Incredible.
That's which is way down on both channels.
That's cool.
And the power supply's inside it, so you don't have to have a ward on the floor, and I'm still getting those numbers. So that, to me, that's it's nice to just have it in it. You carry it, plug it in, and you're going.
Totally. So, as you know, I'm also a teacher, and one of the things I struggle with is to make my students understand some of the things they would not normally be used to. For instance, the airband. That's something that's like, oh, that's black magic, the airband on the Maag EQ.
Right.
Could you please tell me where it all comes from?
I will.
Yes, please.
Yes. The airband on our EQ, you'd think it was born in the EQ, and I'm going to surprise you, it wasn't.
All right.
Where the airband was born, when I started out, I had a C12, an original C12, and then I had a Boulder preamp, and I had an LA2A.
That was it.
Unbelievable vocal chain. I learned what open sound and air was like because of that vocal chain.
Right.
So now I went, and my console was lacking being able to bring that out in other microphones that I had. Maybe a U87, for instance. Kind of an edgier sound. You couldn't open up the high end, especially my ribbon mics I couldn't.
Of course. Yeah.
So what I did is we started to dig, and I had a custom console, so I had to have as good a preamp as I could, like the Boulder, on all of my channels.
Of course.
So I built a new preamp, and in the process, we ended up with some patents based off of a new way of looking at doing the microphone preamp that we built. It's the one that we have now even.
Correct.
So to get the high end, I wanted to add 10K and see if I could, in the microphone stage, in the low level stage, be able to get that, open up those microphones, those ribbons. So I have to admit, the first attempts were nothing but hiss switches. Man, you'd flip it in, but that's where we learned how to get it without hiss.
Yeah.
And as soon as we did that, then we put it in with multiple bands to be able to change what frequency we lift the air from. And we incorporated that into the microphone preamps. Then when we had the EQ, we had it in 6 bands.
Yeah.
Then we thought, well, let's put that on top of the EQ. So then we ended up with the air band on top of the EQ so that we could open up the sound of the mixes or whatever else we had without the hiss to open up the top end.
Wow, man.
And that's where it came from.
And the other thing...
Sorry, long story, but that's where it came from.
I mean, that's a true story, guys. So
it is.
From the man itself.
Yeah.
So, and something that's really unique about this EQ, which has fixed frequencies, and then this air band where you can select multiple frequencies.
Exactly.
Indeed. But the fact that no matter what program you run through it, and no matter how much boost or cut you do, the phase is still the same. The program doesn't get shifted or, that kind of fuzzy sound. Yeah. No, not at all. How did you manage that, man?
Well, that was one thing, that was another patent we ended up with back at that time, to be able to build an EQ that had virtually no phase shift.
That's not.
And so
almost
the algorithm to do that, the algorithm to do that allowed that very thing to happen. I didn't think it could ever be the case that we could. But if you take any of these bands on this EQ, 2.5 or the sub, any of them, and you turn it as fast as you can one way or the other, there's no, the swish sound when you hear the phase.
Yeah.
There's none. So when what that means is it's going to stay in alignment, and it's just going to change the amplitude up and down exactly in phase where it started from. Right on time.
That's cool. I'm looking forward to receive one of these units and try it out, man.
Thank you so much.